What's going on YouTube? It's Unger to the Max here. A salute to you, and go Cubs go. I'm going to start doing that in almost all my intros, because my favorite team, if you couldn't tell, in all of baseball, the Chicago Cubs. I've been a Cubs fan since I was young. So you bet when they won the 2016 World Series, I went crazy. Stinks that it had to come at the cost of my hometown team in the Cleveland Indians, but what are you going to do? So this video is called Super Bowl 53, Patriots versus Rams. Who do you guys have in this tainted Super Bowl? But before I get to that, I want to talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, because I haven't talked about them in a while on this channel. And I'm going to start trying to bring that back, because I'm a huge Blue Jackets fan, in case you didn't know. But right now, the Blue Jackets are struggling. We have lost, including before the All-Star break, we have lost, I believe it's 4 games in a row. Against Montreal, Minnesota, yes. Against Montreal, Minnesota, Buffalo, and Winnipeg. And because we've lost 4 games in a row, not only are we out of the top 3 in the Metropolitan Division, we're now the second wild card team. Don't worry, I will get to the Super Bowl, but I want to just touch on this. And it's really disappointing, because there for like a week or so, the Blue Jackets were actually winning the Metropolitan Division. And right now, they're possibly in danger of missing the playoffs. So, I'm concerned. I am. We've got to win tonight against St. Louis. We have to, before we go out on a tough 3-game road trip starting on Tuesday, February 5th, against my favorite Western Conference team in the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche. Now, the reason the Avalanche are my favorite Western Conference team is because when the Monsters first came into the AHL, the American Hockey League, first off, they were called the Lake Erie Monsters, and they were not associated with the Columbus Blue Jackets right away. When they first came into the AHL, again, the American Hockey League, they were associated with the Colorado Avalanche. So I became a huge Avalanche fan. And I've always liked the Blue Jackets, but when the Blue Jackets became associated with the Monsters in 2016, and then the Monsters would go on to win the Calder Cup Finals, of which I was at Game 4 against the Hershey Bears, when Oliver Bjorkstrand scored the goal with 0.1 seconds remaining in overtime, or the third period. I almost said the fourth period. There's no fourth period in hockey. No, I guess you could say the fourth period is overtime. But, what was I just... Oh, after I saw that, I became a huge Blue Jackets fan, and it's been a lot of fun. And it's been frustrating, though, because last year we had a 2-0 series lead against the Washington Capitals, and unfortunately they came back and won that series and go on to win the Stanley Cup. The year before, we avoided getting swept, only to lose in Game 5 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't know. And we might lose Artemi Panarin this season. I'm just concerned about the Blue Jackets. But I did fulfill one of my bucket list items, which was to go to Columbus and see a Blue Jackets game. It was the day before Michigan against Ohio State. And the Blue Jackets won that game against Toronto 4-2. That cannon is loud. Let me say that. Wow, that cannon is loud. But I want to go to another Blue Jackets game. Seriously. It was so much fun. But Columbus is a long way from Cleveland. Let me just say that. But I really want the Blue Jackets to start playing well and somehow win the division. Right now it goes New York Islanders, Pittsburgh Penguins, Washington Capitals. Those are the top 3 in the Metropolitan. And then the 2 wild cards are the Montreal Canadiens and us, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Oh, we're 4th in the Metropolitan Division right now in the division standings. In the Atlantic Division, it's Tampa Bay Lightning in 1st, then followed by the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then the Boston Bruins. And then in the Western Conference, it goes in the Western Conference Central Division, Winnipeg, Nashville, and then Dallas. And then in the Pacific, it's Calgary, San Jose, Vegas. And then in the wild card, it's Minnesota has the first wild card, and Colorado has the second wild card. So anyway, enough about hockey, as much as I love talking about it. But this video is about the Super Bowl. Because, hello, it's Super Bowl 53 tomorrow. Duh. Patriots and the Rams. Why do the Patriots always have to be in the darn Super Bowl? Why? Well, first, this year, they shouldn't be in the Super Bowl. But I personally believe even though it was the AFC Championship was in Kansas City, I think the refs still showed favoritism towards the Patriots because I personally believe that Julian Edelman did touch that ball on the muffed punt, so that should have been Chiefs' ball right there. Second, Chris Hogan did not make that catch, and that should have been ruled an incomplete pass, and that was definitely not roughing the passer. All the Chiefs' defensive player did was hit Brady on the shoulder. If that's any other quarterback, that's not roughing the passer. Now, I will say, on what could have been the possible game-ending interception for the Chiefs, Deepford has to know where the ball is because he was offside. I'm not going to deny that and say, oh, he wasn't offside, because you can see in the replay, he was clearly offside. So I'm not going to go out and make a claim like that and say, oh, he wasn't offside. No, he was definitely offside. But the 3 other examples I just mentioned, the Edelman play, the Hogan play, and the roughing the passer play, to me, those 3 examples show the refs showing favoritism towards the Patriots, even though the game was in Kansas City, which, in general, is the key to preventing the Patriots from going to the Super Bowl. The Patriots just got lucky with those 3 calls and then the overtime rules, because the Patriots won the coin toss, and obviously they took the ball, marched right down the field, and scored a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes didn't get a chance to respond. How is that fair? Now, in the Patriots' defense, I don't know in whose defense this is, let me say that, but all Kansas City's defense needed to do was not let them score a touchdown. If the Patriots had been forced to kick a field goal, Kansas City would have gotten the ball back. Let me just say that. But Brady kept converting on 3rd down. It was like 3rd down and 10. Julian Edelman for 15. 3rd down and 10. Julian Edelman for 20. 3rd down and 10. Let's go to Gronkowski. By the way, I'm trying to figure out how to, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen some YouTubers like Norbcam who have it that you, the viewers, can actually call in and ask a question to the person who is making the YouTube video, like I am right now. So hopefully someday I will get that set up, because I would love to hear questions from you. And feel free to comment in the comment section. I'm happy to answer questions, your questions. So go ahead, type some questions if you want. I'm more than happy to answer them. But in the NFC Championship, was that hang on. I'm tripping over my words a little bit. That was like one of the worst blown calls I've ever seen. It was obvious. It was at least pass interference, if not helmet to helmet also. But that might be the play that everybody's talking about. But I want to take you back to early in the first quarter. The Saints get the interception inside the Rams goal, or not goal line, inside the Rams red zone, deep in Rams territory, very close to the end zone. And they ended up having to settle for a field goal. Now, that was one of the biggest plays of the game. Obviously, it's not bigger than the missed pass interference call. But, so was the missed pass interference call the biggest factor in the game? Yes. Was it the deciding factor, though? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe that sequence early in the first quarter, when the Saints get the interception deep in Rams territory, and they were very close to the end zone, and they could not punch it in. They had to settle for a field goal. That might have been the deciding sequence in the NFC Championship. Nevertheless, because of the missed pass interference call, and because of the 3 miscalled plays in the AFC Championship, as I've said, I know I've said this, but I'm going to say it again. To me, this Super Bowl is tainted. Whoever wins the Super Bowl is not, I repeat, whoever wins this Super Bowl tomorrow in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium is not the real champion. I say tomorrow during the Super Bowl, the Saints and Chiefs play a game either at a neutral site stadium and call it like the missed call bowl or something. I don't know. And that whoever wins that is the actual champion, because it should be Saints and Chiefs in the Super Bowl. By the way, this is the first Super Bowl in 6 seasons that no number 1 seeds have been involved in the Super Bowl. So that's huge. Another thing, the white jerseys have dominated the Super Bowl. And what I mean by that is that if you're wearing the white jerseys, if your team is wearing the white jersey, you should feel pretty good about winning the Super Bowl. So this year, Patriots fans should be feeling pretty good. And not just because they have Tom Brady, who I say he's the GOAT, but I'm still questioning it. Because if you're the GOAT, how have you lost 3 Super Bowls? I mean, Michael Jordan is considered the GOAT in the NBA. I don't think he lost in the NBA Finals when he got there with the Bulls. I think he won every time he made it. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Hold on 1 second. You actually caught me at a bad time. I'm doing a YouTube live stream right now. You're fine. I'll talk to you after. Probably about half an hour or so. Sorry. All right, I'll talk to you. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Michael Jordan's record in the NBA Finals. Yeah, Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the NBA Finals. Tom Brady is 5-3 in the Super Bowl. So is he the GOAT? I don't know. I mean, maybe I was just saying that he's the GOAT after what I saw in the AFC Championship. But after thinking about it, I'm not 100% sure Tom Brady is the GOAT. Maybe I should still stand by my statement that Drew Brees is the GOAT. I don't know. But as of right now, I'll say Tom Brady is the GOAT, but I'm not sure. Let me say it like that. Okay? Okay. So, but if your team is wearing the white jersey in the Super Bowl, you should feel pretty good. Because except for a couple exceptions, the white jerseys have done really well in the Super Bowl. So, the Eagles, it was Eagles-Patriots in the Super Bowl last year. And the Patriots were wearing their white jerseys, and the Eagles were wearing their home green jerseys, and they won. So that's an exception. But in Super Bowl 51, the NFC was the home team, so the Falcons wore their home red jerseys, and the Patriots wore their white jerseys. And the Falcons had a 28-3 lead, and they were like, "Oh, we're playing against Tom Brady, but it's 28-3. There's no way he's going to come back from 25 points." Yeah, how did that work out for you, Atlanta? Good job. Round of applause. But as we all know, the Patriots won that game, and they were wearing their white jerseys. Super Bowl 50, Broncos-Panthers. Broncos won 24-10, and they were wearing their white jerseys. Oh, by the way, the score of the Eagles-Patriots game was 41-33. Super Bowl 49, Seahawks, Patriots. When the Seahawks should have run the ball on the 1-yard line with Marshawn Lynch. They were 1 yard short, unfortunately. But the Seahawks were wearing their home blue and green jerseys, and the Patriots were wearing their away white jerseys. And they won 28-3. Super Bowl 48, Seahawks Broncos. Broncos were wearing their, I guess I'll call them their home orange jerseys, and the Seahawks were wearing their away white jerseys, and the Seahawks dominated the Broncos 43-8. It was the number one offense against the number one defense. And what's the saying? Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And that game proves it. Okay, Super Bowl 47. Ravens 49ers. When Ray Lewis decided to retire and the Ravens went on this magical journey, beating the Colts in the wild card game, going on the road and beating the Broncos, thanks to the Broncos cornerback, not quarterback, because their quarterback, Peyton Manning, played his heart out. But I think it was Raheem Moore. He went up to knock the ball down, and the ball just goes boo, right to who was the Ravens receiver on that play? I forget. Wasn't Torrey Smith. Who was that? I don't remember now. Let's see. Ravens versus Broncos. Hold on 1 second. It was Jacoby Jones. So Raheem Moore goes up to knock the ball down, and and it goes right into Jacoby Jones' hands for a touchdown. And then they went into New England and beat the Patriots, and then it's the Hardball Bowl or the Blackout, whichever one you want to call it. And the Ravens were wearing their white jerseys, and the 49ers were wearing their home jerseys, and it was Baltimore who came out with the win. 34-31, I think it was. I don't remember. And then you look at Super Bowl 46, the rematch. Giants versus Patriots from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. The Giants were wearing their away jerseys, and the Patriots were wearing their home jerseys. But it was the Giants who came out with the victory. I don't remember the score of that game either. Super Bowl 45. It was Steelers Packers from AT&T Stadium in Dallas. And the Packers were wearing their home jerseys. Steelers were wearing their away jerseys. And with the trend, you would think the Steelers would have won. But no, it was the Packers who won. So there's another exception, because the Packers won that in their home jerseys. Aaron Rodgers' only Super Bowl. Let's see. Super Bowl 44. Saints Colts from Miami. It was probably called Landshark Stadium or something. That stadium's had so many names, it's ridiculous. But the Saints were wearing their away jerseys, and the Colts were wearing their home jerseys. And it was the Saints who came away with the victory. Let's see. Super Bowl 43 in Tampa, at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. It was Steelers Cardinals. And the Steelers were wearing their away jerseys, and the Cardinals were wearing their home jerseys. And because of that, Santonio Holmes, ridiculous catch, the Steelers won that Super Bowl. And Super Bowl 42, the Giants were wearing their away jerseys. The Patriots were wearing their home jerseys. Patriots were obviously trying to go 19-0. Giants were a wild card team that made this ridiculous run, and they came away with the victory, 17-14. Super Bowl 40, Seahawks were wearing Super Bowl 41. The Colts were wearing their away jerseys. The Bears were wearing their home jerseys, and it was the Colts who came away with the Super Bowl victory. Super Bowl 40, it was Steelers Seahawks from Ford Field, and the Steelers were wearing their away jerseys. Seahawks were wearing their home jerseys, and it was the Steelers who came away with the victory. Super Bowl 39, Patriots Eagles. The Patriots were wearing their away jerseys, and the Eagles were wearing their home jerseys, and it was the Patriots who came away with this victory. Super Bowl 38, here's another exception, because the Patriots were wearing their home jerseys and the Panthers were wearing their away jerseys, and it was the Patriots who came away with the victory. I believe Super Bowl 37 was Raiders-Buccaneers, and it was the Raiders were wearing their white jerseys, the Buccaneers were wearing their home jerseys. This was considered the John Gruden Bowl, because Gruden coached both of these teams, and it was the Buccaneers who came away with the victory. So there have been a few exceptions, but in general, it's been the white jersey who's won the Super Bowl. I think there's something superstitious to those white jerseys. Just like when I was wearing that particular Brown shirt, and every time I wore that shirt, the Browns won. But I will say, the Browns were at home for all those games. They never won an away game when they won. Oh, yeah, in that experiment, it almost worked, actually. If C.J. Mosley passed, might have won, which would have helped the Steelers. Now, I'll get back to the Super Bowl in a minute, but I want to go back to Week 15, Patriots, Steelers. As a Browns fan, I had a hard time deciding who to root for, because if the Patriots won, it would have helped the Browns increased the Browns' chances of possibly making and maybe winning the division. But even though the Steelers are in the same division as the Browns, I have a lot of respect for them. I went to Browns Steelers in Pittsburgh. Heinz Field is really nice, and Pittsburgh people are very nice, and they love their football team, and they know their football. Like, if the Steelers are not good in Pittsburgh, I bet those fans turn on them. I don't know. But even though it hurt the Browns' chances, I have so much disdain for the Patriots that I rooted for the Steelers. I'm sorry, Browns fans, but I just couldn't root for the Patriots. I can't. I mean, Deflategate, Spygate, what else? Oh, getting calls that should not have gone your way. And people don't have proof that the Patriots deflated the footballs. You don't have any proof that they didn't. So there. But now then, my actual preview for this game. So I think it's really going to hurt the Rams that they don't have Cooper Kupp in this game, because he was that big physical receiver that the Rams had. And now he's not there, although he's been gone for a while. And you can see they've adapted. But I think it might hurt them in this game, because I have a feeling Bill Belichick is going to put Gilmore on Brandon Cooks, and that because he's their deep threat now, and they're going to possibly double team Robert Woods. So who's Jared Goff going to throw it to? Now, here's something interesting. The inexperienced teams have done well in the Super Bowl. You know, the Eagles, they hadn't been there since Super Bowl 39. They went out and beat the Patriots. The Falcons, at least for the first half, they were up 28-3. The Broncos, the Broncos aren't a good example. The Seahawks from Super Bowl 48. You have these young teams that are doing really well in the Super Bowl. And I think that could favor the Rams, because the Rams are young and inexperienced. They are. I mean, Brandon Cooks was in the Super Bowl last year, but Malcolm Jenkins knocked him out of the Super Bowl with a concussion. And even though I don't like the Patriots, I never want to see a player get injured. I don't even want to see Tom Brady get injured. Never. I never wish for a player to get injured. Absolutely not. I'm not that type of fan that would be like, oh, I hate this team so much that I want this player injured. Come on. What type of fan are you if you want a player to get injured? What type of fan are you? Seriously. I would say you're not a fan. You just like seeing people get hurt. Although I'm being a little bit hypocritical because I enjoy watching the UFC. But anyway, you know what I mean. Like, I don't enjoy seeing players get injured and having their season ended in the NFL or NBA or anything like that. Or, I don't know. But anyway. So like I was saying, I think the Patriots are going to have Gilmore on Brandon Cooks. They're going to double team Robert Woods, and they'll probably stack the box to slow down Todd Gurley. So the pressure is going to be on Jared Goff to find other options, like Gerald Everett or Higbee or somebody. Maybe Josh Reynolds. Somebody. Because what you can't do against the Patriots is force the ball into tight windows. You can't do that, because the Patriots will make you pay, even though their defense isn't that great. I would say the mentality for the Patriots is this. The mentality is called bend but don't break. You will rack up a ton of yardage against the Patriots. You can run on them, you can probably pass on them, but when you get into the end zone, not when you get into the end zone, when you get close to the end zone, they buckle down and go, nope, you shall not cross, and force you to settle for field goals. And of course, when you have Tom Brady on the other side, you can't settle for field goals because you know what Tom Brady's going to do. Just go, 5-yard pass to Julian Edelman, 4-yard pass to Dion Lewis that turns into a 20-yard gain, or fake handoff. Oh, there goes Rex Burkhead for 26 yards wide open, or there goes Chris Hogan wide open down the middle of the field, or hey, there's Rob Gronkowski, and next thing you know, touchdown Patriots. How are you going to beat the Patriots if you settle for field goals and they're getting in the end zone and scoring touchdowns? Let me tell you a secret. You're not going to beat the Patriots if you settle for field goals and they're scoring touchdowns. That's just not how it works. Unless somehow they miss extra points and field goals. If they're forced to settle for a field goal, of course. But for the Rams, it's all about getting pressure on Tom Brady. Why did the Giants win Super Bowl 42 against the Patriots? It's because they put constant pressure on Tom Brady. There were very few times in that game when Tom Brady was standing upright like this, when he would just be back, I don't remember who it was, but one of the Giants defenders, he goes like this. Let me show you what I mean. He fakes like he's going to go back to cover, and the Red Sea opens, and he's coming in and generating pressure on Tom Brady, which allowed, I think it was Ozzie Umenyiora, to come in from the other side and or it might have been Strahan. I think it was either Strahan or Umenyiora to come in and sack Tom Brady. But that's what the Rams have to do. I mean, if they can run that play, they're good. But they have to generate pressure on Tom Brady. Aaron Donald, you're probably going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. Again, show why you should be Defensive Player of the Year in the Super Bowl. Which NFL awards are going to be coming out tonight. Patrick Mahomes is going to be MVP. And Saquon Barkley, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins Rookie of the Year, but Rookie of the Year should be Baker Mayfield. Look at what he helped lead the Browns to. A 7-8-1 record, I believe it was. And I'm just saying, if he had been the starting quarterback right from the beginning, the Browns might have been in the playoffs. Maybe they wouldn't have won the AFC North, but they might have been a wild card team. You don't know. I'm just saying. But I'm going to be curious what the Browns defense looks like without Greg Williams, because I'm happy that Freddie Kitchens is the head coach. The Browns offense looked great under him, but I'm iffy about what the defense is going to look like, because the Browns went out and hired Steve Wilkes, who was fired after one season as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. So that has me concerned about what the Browns defense is going to look like. And rightfully, I feel like I should be concerned. But Baker Mayfield should be Rookie of the Year. Saquon Barkley played really well for the Giants, but the Giants did nothing this season. They didn't even sniff the playoffs. They're like, I don't smell the playoffs. The Browns went, I can almost smell the playoffs. If only we hadn't lost. The biggest losses of the season for the Browns were Week 4 at Oakland and Week 7 at Tampa Bay. Those were two games the Browns should have won, for sure. Especially the Oakland game. The Raiders sucked. They only got like 2 or 3 wins. But should I say this? I'm happy that the Raiders are going to Vegas because they get out of that awful stadium. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the Super Bowl. So for the Rams defense, like I was saying, they need to generate pressure on Tom Brady. But the other thing they need to do is somehow they need to take away something from Tom Brady. The Chargers, who I thought were actually going to put up a fight against New England, the Chargers defense didn't take anything away. So Tom Brady was just allowed to hand the ball off and let Rex Burkhead and James White and Sony Michel just run wild. And the Patriots were also allowed to just do those short little passes to Julian Edelman and James White out of the backfield for like 5 yards that would turn into like 20-yard gains. So, and the Chiefs did the same thing. They didn't take anything away. That's also part of the reason why the Patriots won the AFC Championship. If the Rams want to win this game, which I personally think they will, I'll get to my score prediction in a minute, but if the Rams want to win this game, they've got to take something away from the Patriots. Either take away the short passing game or take away the run game. You can't let Tom Brady have both because he will absolutely tear you apart if you let him have both. You got to take away one thing or the other. And personally, I think it would be a little bit easier for the Rams to take away the run game of the Patriots. Look at what they did in the NFC divisional round against the Dallas Cowgirls. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the Dallas Cowboys. Whatever. Part of the reason I think the Rams won that game is because their defense slowed down the run game of the Cowboys. Didn't let Ezekiel Elliott hit these big 40-yard runs like the Seahawks did. I mean, the Seahawks overachieved, and good job making it to the wild card. And you had a chance to upset the NFC East champion Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowgirls. Oh, no, I'll stick with Dallas Cowboys. In Jerry's world. But you let Ezekiel Elliott just run wild, and for some reason, you were stuck in 2013 when you had Marshawn Lynch. I mean, yeah, the Seahawks had a good run game this season, but Russell Wilson has shown that he can pass it. And the Seahawks have showed all season that they had capable wide receivers. I don't know why the Seahawks offensive coordinator stayed with the run game. Pass it a little bit more. Use Doug Baldwin. Use Tyler Lockett. I mean, if you pass the ball, you won't have the defense loading up to stop the run, and you might actually open up the running game, which this is something the Rams should do. Use the passing game to open up holes for Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson was a dog last week, 2 Sundays ago against the Saints in that NFC Championship game that won't be remembered as being a great game because it was one of the best games I've ever seen. It will be remembered, and I hate to say it, but rightfully, it should be remembered for that missed pass interference call. It should be remembered for that. Well, it shouldn't be remembered for that, but at the same time, it should. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. But, C.J. Anderson, since the Rams have signed him, he's been doing really well for the Rams this season. And I think they're going to, I'll be curious, do they use Todd Gurley more or do they use CJ Anderson? And also, something interesting with the Patriots, and it makes sense why they do this. They will run plays in the game that you did not see on film. Like Tony Romo was saying during the broadcast of the AFC Championship, the Patriots did not run a cover 0 blitz against the Chargers last week because they didn't because they didn't want to show the Chiefs to see it and be prepared for it and be able to practice it. So they kept that out of their playbook and brought it out during the AFC Championship game. And Patrick Mahomes was like, what? Where do I go with this? Where do I? He was lost. It looked like he was seeing a ghost, to be honest. That's what it looked like. It looked like he was seeing a ghost. I mean, maybe if the Chiefs had actually scored some points in the first half, we wouldn't be talking about the possibility of overtime. And we wouldn't be talking about the effect that the Edelman play, the Hogan play, and the roughing the passer play had on this game. We might be talking about, hey, the Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. But no. For some reason, the Chiefs decided to lay an egg, not score any points in the first half. And yeah, it was really stupid. Like, hey, I know they didn't intentionally try to score, but it's like, hey, let's not score in the first half and then come out and put up all this offense in the second half. So now it's time for my score prediction. I'm going to say the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. 37-31. Yeah, 37-31. Last year, I predicted the score would be 41-33. I think I said the Patriots were going to win. And the score ended up being 44-31. So I picked the wrong team, but I was only off by 3 with the 40s, and I was only off by 2 with the other one. But I'm going 37-31 Rams. So that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, punch that like button and punch that subscribe button like a UFC fighter, and comment below with your score prediction and who you think's going to win. Like I said, I think the Rams are going to win 37-31. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. And I will be doing a schedule prediction video for the Cleveland Browns, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to try and get in contact with NordCam because the Browns play the Seahawks next season in Cleveland. So I'm going to be trying to do a video with him during the week the Browns play the Seahawks. So be on the lookout for that next season. And, I will be doing a Super Bowl post-game video at some point after the game. So that's what's coming up for the NFL in terms of the channel. I'm going to be trying to bring back more Columbus Blue Jackets videos because I love talking hockey, and it's a lot of fun. And I haven't done a Blue Jackets video for a while. I'm also going to be trying to bring back some more Cavaliers stuff because I haven't talked about the Cavaliers in a while. And they've won 2 straight games. And they're not the worst team in the NBA anymore. What a freaking concept. But until next time, this is Unger to the Max signing off with a salute to you, and go Cubs go.